Now on to an awkward situation facing diners. Many restaurants are implementing time limits, with some patrons being asked to leave their table exactly 90 minutes after their reservation started. I'm so happy you guys are on my side for this one. Are you supportive of time limits on restaurant reservations? What do you guys think?
Okay,
No,
listen.
it's so rude.
It's so rude. Story time. So Cynthia and I went for drinks and dinner after work one day. We went to this place, which I will not name. And as soon as we got in there, before we were even sat down or handed our menus, the waitress said, there's a limit. You guys can only be here for 45 minutes, okay? So just so you know before you sit down. And I was ready to leave. Because I was like, so you want me to pay money, you want a tip, and no, you're insulting me before I even sit down? Honey, listen, I could eat at home. I'm here to socialize with my friend and order some food. So treat me with some kind of respect. Also, to these restaurants, it's also incumbent on you to not take a half an hour to bring me my entree and then also tell me I gotta be out of here at 90 minutes.
Yeah. Yep,
bring me
totally.
my food right away and then I'll move faster. So I think there's a more polite way to do it, but if you start telling me about the time I have before I sit down, child, I'm going home.
See, well,
It's ridiculous.
I think they did the right thing in your story, telling you before. I don't want to. I don't want to sit down and start eating, and then they're like, by the way, you have to leave in an hour. I'll be like, what? If I knew that, I wouldn't have sat down. I prefer they tell me when I arrive, which I've had many times where they're like, just so you know, there's a 2-hour time limit on these tables, which 2 hours is much more reasonable than 45 minutes.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm like, okay, I know that. I'll choose to stay. I feel like that's the way to do it. And like restaurants are struggling really hard.
Exactly, so you should be glad that I'm sitting there and keep ordering. Because I do feel guilty when I stay longer and I order more stuff when I stay longer, so you're welcome.
It's so
Tip zero.
unromantic. It's so unromantic to just be like, oh, you have a 90-minute limit. Like, we go to restaurants to not look at the clock. Like, if I wanted to look at the, like, I might as well be eating a protein bar in my car then.
Tell,
Right? Like,
but tell
why
that to
am I
the
sitting at a
manager
beautiful
balancing the budget of
restaurant?
the restaurant. They're going to be like, we need X amount of tables in here tonight, or we're not open next week.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
how
they
we
need
keep
to have things flow at a certain pace.
It's just an unwritten rule. Like, I'm paying for this meal.
I totally understand, but I like the idea when I make a reservation, which is very rarely because I don't go out because I'm so cheap. But generally they say, hey, just a FYI, you have your table for 90 minutes. Is that okay? And I'm like, yes, that's okay. You know what? I like being told ahead of time, and I love following the rules. So when I'm not a rule breaker, so when I go to one of those places, I know I have 90 minutes. But super, super fancy restaurants, they would never dream of doing this.
Yeah.
That's why they're so expensive. Do you know what I mean? Because they're not operating on that model of turn the seats so
The
much.
experience. They're modeling
They
the
know,
experience.
But if they're hard to get, but some restaurants do that. If they're hard to get into and they want to, you know, they want to give everybody a chance to get into the
That's
restaurant.
true. If you want to get in, you take your 90-minute slot and eat and get out.
And let's be
think-
clear,
oh, I
I'm
don't
fine
like
if
it.
I'm booking the reservation and in the reservation you have it in black
Yeah.
and white that it's 90 minutes. I'm fine with that. But if I'm walking into your half-dead restaurant with no one sitting there, don't tell me about 45 minutes.
Tell us the restaurant.
I think there
Legal would frown upon that. So
I think
keep it
there needs
myself.
to be another area in restaurants so that if I'm done, right, I get up from my table, so
And you
somebody
get
else
the
at the
lounge.
table,
It's
and
the
I
bar.
sit in the lounge.
Yeah.
And you give me, you know, maybe a cocktail at a discounted price or something where I'm sitting and I'm, you know, enjoying.
You walk into a restaurant,
Okay.
you see a bunch of people lying around on chaise lounges. You're gonna be like, let's go somewhere else.
Instead of kicking me out, you give me a half price cocktail. I don't know. No?